Well, I wanted to come to Kuwait as soon as possible into my tenure as the Under-Secretary General at the United Nations for Humanitarian Affairs and as the Emergency Relief Coordinator, because over many years, Kuwait, under the leadership of His Highness the Emir, has demonstrated a real commitment to humanitarian action through providing the resources that really enables the international community, mainly expressed through the United Nations, to deliver life-saving and protection to the people in most need, wherever that arises around the world. Well, in my discussions today, I have been able to meet with His Highness the Crown Prince, with His Highness the Prime Minister and their Excellencies, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, and the Minister for the Diwan, and I've been able to understand that through their commitment and the Kuwaiti people's commitment under the leadership of His Highness the Emir to contributing to the multilateral, the multinational system of coordinated response to emergency crises, whether they occur in natural disaster or where humanitarian needs arise because of conflict, has been both consistent and an example that I wanted to make sure I understand. It's been particularly powerful for this region of the world, which does have at this stage many needs which we need to try and meet. And so the support for the international system of the UN, where as the coordinator we need to target the resources to deliver the most optimum impact wherever the greatest needs arise, and using the UN agencies in order to be able to do that, along with many very brave and very courageous international and national NGOs. Well, I'm very clear that the example and the deep commitment, in fact I would say the inspiration of the Kuwaiti people expressed through the leadership of His Highness the Emir and the Kuwaiti government for contributing to real impact on humanitarian affairs in the world today is one which I need to understand. It's one which I want to work and continue to work in partnership with, because we have coming up in the next year the World Humanitarian Summit. There we want to be able to put on show and to display to the world the very best of the best, to show how we really can make humanity overcome all the other terrible disputes which are taking place in the world and where there is real need to be met. We have many women, children, the elderly, people with disabilities, young men. We have many who are in terrible peril of their lives because of disputes which are taking place in many parts of the world. And we need to find a better way of delivering the humanitarian impact which is going to help save lives and to make sure that those who are in peril are protected. Well, I know that the Secretary General was very pleased to have the opportunity for us to be able to demonstrate our enormous gratitude and celebration of the continuing commitment and example of His Highness the Emir of Kuwait to the humanitarian principles, the principled action, and the necessary resources, and the collaboration and cooperation of contributing to the multilateral system for delivering these enormously important life-saving and protection public goods. And by doing that, we want to be able to remember that it's now almost precisely 1 year since there was a major event to celebrate and to recognize that. And so it's an anniversary where I hope that we can equally be reminded and to celebrate this example, because by doing that, it's not just, of course, right for Kuwait and the Kuwaiti people. It has to be right for all those whom we would hope would take this as an example, and we can multiply this wonderful example for others to follow. And in that regard, I regard us as in the best possible partnership, and I am very grateful to the Emir of Kuwait for having given us that chance to show what we can do as humanitarians in the world by his example. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you very much indeed for being such strong partners in delivering life-saving and protection for the people of the world who are in most need. These needs are real. Any of us only has to imagine what it must be like to, as a family person, wake up one morning and be faced with the prospect of flee or die. And unless we have people committed to supporting the collective will of all of us to step up, to be good humanitarians, to deliver humanity to our fellow men and women in the face of the most terrible challenges that they face, be that through natural disasters, although sadly today mainly through the context of conflict, where in the absence of political solutions we need to pick up the pieces of the shattered lives and the humanitarian needs. And therefore my principal message in my visit to Kuwait is to say, from the United Nations, expressing the global opinion, and particularly as the humanitarian chief, to say a very big thank you to the Kuwaiti people and to His Highness the Emir of Kuwait for setting such a high example, which we all want to see replicated by many others around the world.
Your Excellency, once again.